Good evening. Did the music just stop? No. It's July 28th, 2022. It's very late today, but I had a busy day today. So let's start the show. Welcome back. This is the second live stream this week, and as usually Thursdays will be related to Office add-in development, trying to interrupt with Blazor and OfficeJS, and my mic is almost dropping off. Let's go into the code window here. Let's see, where are we going? Well, we have been looking last week to see if we could read the attachment back. Let's first have a quick eval to see what is working on what not, where we are today. Let's hit F5. That should kick in Outlook, I hope. We've been dragging along with this callback function that doesn't want to await, I should say, before returning the value. Try the new Outlook. No, let's not do that today. This will kick in the server that we need to host in the Outlook task pane. I could not read email attachment data. That's correct, because there is no host environment there, but we do have a host environment in here. Let's get an email with text attachment there. I do remember we were going over multiple attachments. Run the Outlook Blazor sample. At first it said that it could not read the attachment. Why is it not reading the attachment now? Counting one attachment. Oh, and this is not a text item. You have to go in here. I think there's an older, this one. This is the text item. And this is also with two text items. Let's try this one. Nothing. Oh, why is it closed? I lost my server here. It stopped running, so that's not good. Let's run that again. That's a great start for today. I already had a great start this day. I won't go into that, but there's a server again. Did I close that manually just now? I don't know. Read the item there with 2 attachments, then run the sample here. Now it's seeing some interesting attachments. That's the subject of the email. Then we have the attachment ID and some attachment 2. We pick up the first one from 2, and now we want to get information back from the attachment data, and that's still not working for some reason. It is picking it up here. So I was thinking a little bit about this over the week, and what we are doing here is we are going into the after renders async to do the first render, and in the first render we are kicking in the JavaScript module, and then we try to read the data if it's not already available. And when something returns, well, we always have something return, but then we say the state has changed. And if we have a state change, that will re-render the Blazor task pane. But what we do get the mail read item there back, and that's now a local one, and returning it in here. The mail read data is where is that defined? Go to definition in here. So that's our return object. So we no longer need this one, I guess. And there was another section, that was this one. So now the question still is, why is this is invoking the get email data thing. And the get email data thing is in the JavaScript function there, where we have a variable called mail read object. Is that used somewhere? Why do I say replace? I don't want to replace anything here. Just want to find it, and that's not used apparently. So what we are going into is get email data, and that's going into collecting the item. That's the Outlook item. Then we are going over the attachments. If there are more attachments than one, than 0 I should say, then we are going to process the attachment items. Is that also showing in the here? processing attachment. I think we are only processing the first one. Because it will immediately return only one of these. It will only return the first one, but still this item. What's this, by the way? The attachment ID. This will never end up here. So this is kind of useless. So we don't have a mail read object there. And we never will use this. If there are more than zero attachments, then we go into here. There's no else. The attachment ID is collected where? Here. So let's try this in an email without attachments. Let's rebuild. We've got the technology, let's rebuild him. Why is it not starting there? It's already running Outlook. Let's close Outlook there. And try again. I should put in the magic sound when the build is not failing. Wait for the server to load. Yeah, there's the server. Now we have an email without attachment. Let's have a look at that. See if we get no attachment back now. That's interesting. Yeah, that's the subject. Why is there an attachment in there? Fingerprint icon? That's interesting. How is there a fingerprint icon in here? Ooh, is that a hidden? Oh, there it was private to me, a fingerprint icon. There's a picture attached, but it's not showing as an attachment. That's interesting. Oops, that's not what I needed there. Interesting. So there's actually an attachment in the email that we are not seeing. Inspect. Console. Ooh, there it is, and there they are. Can we decode this? Copy. Decode base 64 online. Let's paste this in. Ooh, it's a ping file. Download. Can we download a file here? Decode to file. Decode base 64 to file. There it is. There's the fingerprint icon. Created in Adobe. That's interesting. Sneaky. So this is an attachment in the email. This is an older one. Probably also has an attachment in there then. Also has an attachment, yes. Let's send an email without attachments. Email without attachments. This is an email. Need email. Without an attachment. Attachment. By Maarten. Soft as in software. Where, not air. Where. Send. Now do I get a new email here? Yes, we do. Run this. No attachments. This is what I expected. I'm really surprised that this Viva email has an attachment in there. But as it has an attachment, I also want to get the base64 back there. And oh, this is only the first, maybe, so maybe there are more. Now let's have a look at this, and now try to find out why the what is the type, by the way? That's the in attachment console. The type is still base64, I think. Fingerprint icon 2 times. And it's a file. Processing extension is ping. Ping extension. Attachment ID. Returned undefined. This is where we go wrong. Attachment content returned. It's undefined. Attachment content returned. I would expect some information here. Returned by this await thingy. But this is not awaiting. Google console log JavaScript timestamp. Expect to have a simple. Will this work? We're going to here and go to the console. No. That's way too big. Should be much easier. Can we get that with milliseconds? Yes, we can somehow get milliseconds using method getTime and date instance. Copy. There's one. And do it again. That's also milliseconds. Get seconds. JavaScript date now including seconds. With seconds. I don't want the milliseconds. It's the time without seconds. No seconds. This one has seconds. But that's just a print of a generated one. Get seconds. Date now. How many seconds? It's not as easy to just get date with seconds. Minute, I want seconds. Seconds. JavaScript. current time including seconds. No, I don't want to add seconds, I want to display seconds. Shouldn't be that hard, I think. Display. Today get seconds. This is the one. Copy. Start. Copy. Oh, that's not right. Fix the last part there. And console log start time should be end time. Let's see how much time there's between that. Let's run F5 again. Pick one with text attachments. Set text attachments. Yes. So where did the time go? Two attachments. to refresh this. Control F5. It's not in here, so I need to clear the cache for this again. Go into local app data. Go into Microsoft Office. '16. I think this one. WebView 2. Scale that. Now run it again. That should give us a new web view. There it is. Wait for the server. Let's see, we have an updated JavaScript in here. Console. We just need this one. Yes, now it contains the new date. So that's good. Go in here, do the same. Start the add-in. There it is. Inspect. Console. Now we have time. No seconds again. I thought we had processed seconds here as well. Do we need milliseconds as well? Yes, it is seconds. So within the same second it's working. This just too fast. Let's have a look at here. Copy. At milliseconds. Really surprised there's no easier one simple call to just get me the time with milliseconds. Now we probably need to clear the cache again. Let's first stop this one. Close Outlook. Kill the cache there from WebView 2. And restart it, rebuild it. Because I think the async call is way too fast. attachments. Show me the first attachment. Oh, that's not right. That's wrong. That's what it should be. Let's see what the error is showing. Get milliseconds. Did I miss something there? Oh, this should be great start. There's no end there. Smarty pants. Now we have to do it all over again. Yes, so that was an error. That sound immediately wakes me up. I'm terrified now. Let's see. This one is terminated, and let's go to clear the cache there. Now, otherwise we have this old JavaScript code again, and run it again. Let's see if we can get the milliseconds now. Outlook, there it is. Attachment, email with attachments. Open this. Now you got some information there. Now let's see how many milliseconds are in between 5 and 7 is 2 milliseconds just to process the attachment, and that's actually, I don't believe that's true. Maybe you should put the same thing in here, because this is where it actually is reading things. Let's do that. Let's copy the exact same thing here. Copy. In the part where it's actually processing the callback. Oh, it still says mail read object. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for this one. So let's get a start time there, and we can kill this, and then we take down this part. Just before we are returning something. Here the value of the attachment is calculated. And then just before here, because here it starts the callback with the time and milliseconds. Then we are determining what is the format. The format is base64. Then it will show us that it's base64. Then it will copy the contents and then return that. Well, it's actually not returning it because this is an in-scope variable. and that will be returned as output. But apparently it's not, it's not waiting for that. And that's not a nice thing to do, huh? Because this one should be an async one before returning that. Maybe the handle attachment callback should be having some delay in there. Because how does this know when to return, wait for to return that? That's the thing with a handle, with a callback, you never know when it's finished. Well, let's first have a look at the timer there. This is already stopped. Then we kill the cache there. Now we start this again. This Office API is a weird thing. It's still so many open ends, loose ends there. Not only in the API, but also in the documentation and things like that. Let's have a look at this. Get some attachment info. Inspect this. Because this one is triggered at 23, 20, 32, 37, 122. And you see that it's arriving there a little bit later, but it already moved on there. And that's not what I want. Because that means that this one is returning the value without the attachment information. Because this one is definitely not waiting. This one is definitely not waiting for this to finish. We could make it a two-step system where we first go and get in the attachment information, then we go to press a button to collect the attachment, but that's not what we want. We just want to see this whenever we open this attachment, this task pane, to get the information for the first attachment. Let's see if we can find some information on this function. Copy, Google. We always return back here, and this is a good remark that it's returning nothing, and that's basically true. If we go into the specs here, and we are going to find this one. Five items. If there's not an attachment defined by that. This is the callback used in here. But But this is not, wait, this is a real bad example. Nadja just subscribed 2 months in a row. Welcome back again. How are you doing today? Thank for the sub. This one is, this is a very bad example because it's not showing that it's actually an async function. What about you? Well, I had a real bad day today because someone did something stupid at my work and we had to fix everything. That will take also probably tomorrow. And so I'm kind of exhausted here. It's the reason why I also started late today. Because I was still relaxing a little bit for this soccer match with my favorite soccer team. And lucky for me, or lucky for them, I don't know. They did win with, I think, 4-0. But I did not want to skip this... I didn't want to skip this live stream because we still need to make some progress. The team is az.nl because that's in my hometown. Oh, why is it doing this? All this cookie stuff and things. So it was this match. Was it this match? No, it was not this match. It was this match. I think in Bosnia. Obviously this is Dutch. Sorry for that. Sarajevo. The match was in Sarajevo. Well, this is this soccer team is usually not the top of the bill, but I think number 3 in the competition, the Dutch competition. But the other two are basically no competition at all because their budget is huge compared to the budget that this team has. So these the other teams like Ajax is maybe you heard from that. Did you hear about Dynamo versus Fenerbahce? No, was that today also? We had several Dutch players playing in Fenerbahce. I think at this time there are no Dutch players anymore, but a couple of years ago there were. Some bad things happened, really? Like what? We're now risking to have people dropping off because we are doing soccer discussions, discussing fanatics, like in the supporters. Oh, really? Yes, that's the war with Russia. And yeah, that's terrible. And you have the pro and contra for each of the countries, and still lurking. I don't like sports. Let's make this a sports channel. Welcome back, one lion. Did you have a stream today? Your live stream schedule is usually mismatching my watch time these days. I liked it much better when you had your previous job where you were allowed to do a full live stream 8 hours a day. But maybe tomorrow, you have the community day. I think tomorrow. Do you do a community day tomorrow again? One lion. Yeah, 10:30 a.m. At 10:30 a.m. That's like I think you're 7 hours away from the Netherlands UTC 6. So that's usually around 5 or 6 p.m. And then my wife needs attention with dinner and things like that. Yeah, I try to join in tomorrow because it's been way too long joining in your stream. I do follow what you're doing. I think looking at your GitHub things, and you're still doing very interesting stuff, I think. Not like the boring office stuff that I do. You're going to cook. I'm always surprised that you're now cooking at this time, but that's usually because it's 23 minus 6. Oh, it's dinner time, obviously. And now we lost the soccer discussion. Let's try and get to see why this callback is not awaiting. So I need to, after the stream, I need to look up the what happened with that match. Must be in the news. Or they said they keep usually they keep things like this outside the news, because that will be triggering other teams to do the same. Yeah, actually, I do think it's cool stuff. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. Obviously, building the Office add-ins, but the documentation is so bad with the OfficeJS APIs, and where they have this async samples, and actually the demo isn't async at all. And if you look at this simple demo, the only thing that it's actually doing is accepting the ID of the attachment. It's going into the handle callback of the attachment, and then the only thing they do is determine the type of the attachment and doing nothing with it, while the most important part of this callback would be to get the content of the attachment, and that's completely skipped. I had some discussions with the team about that, so they are looking into that. But that's a real downer. So we have to... What I do is try to get this and then go into GitHub. Let's see if there's someone else using it, but usually there's no one else using it other than me. There is 393, and that's the other downside. It's the naming for this one is also used in some other code, like I think for DevOps or things like that. Not so much related to this one. This one is actually using Vue. Let's see if there's an async example. There it's used in here. This is also not async, I think. Let's see there. See, there it is. It's not awaiting it at all. Well, this one is awaiting it. This one is not. I didn't mean to interrupt your soccer discussion. Well, I did not mean to start a soccer discussion on this stream, but it's good to hear that we have some other soccer fans, or at least followers for soccer. But I completely don't try to make this a soccer discussion stream at all. Because I want to get this solved. I want my things to return information. As a result, then we get to determine that it's a base 64 thing, that's the same thing. Then he puts something to here. He puts the value in this attachment thingy. And what is he doing with that? Now he's putting it actually somewhere on an API. That's interesting. But again, this is also not async. Darn it. See, this is related to DevOps, CI/CD pipeline in Azure. That has the exact same names, and for that reason you do get 393 matches in code, but it's in no way related to what we're doing here. This one is. But this one is, I think I've been looking at this before. He's using, he or she, I don't know, is using a promise to get the information back. Here. Run once. Minutes longer than token expiration. Weird, here it does not trigger the error. There's the run once, that's this one. And it's exporting async. Are we exporting async as well? I think it should be. Yeah, we do export async. Run once, then go run once, then going into the item, gets the attachments, that's what we do also. Get attachments, that's this one. This is a great addition to check if the supported set is actually 1.8, otherwise it would be returning 0. That's filtering files for file type. And attachment is inline. Not sure what an attachment is inline means. If there are no attachments, is return an empty thing. Otherwise, it will return a promise. And mapping attachments. This one is getting attachment content async. Is that because he's using the attachment ID here, but he's not using a callback here. Oh, is he just giving back an attachment? That's interesting. And this is copyrighted by Microsoft. So this is actually code from Microsoft. Who is this Chris Mix guy? He's not running under the Microsoft flag, so I'm not sure which repository he's using there. Which one was that? Office repro attachment issue. Okay. What's the issue then? There's no reference to an issue here. So you get attachments. This will just return attachments, I guess. Get attachments doing this. Run is started, that's the export function. Export function is run once. Minutes longer than token expiration. Also, is that just testing it? Do you see how long the run once takes? Because it looks like it's doing it twice here. Once here and once with the setting the timeout. Here it's doing the same thing. Get attachments for the item. That's this one. Let's copy that in. Let's see if we can use that. Get email data. Put it somewhere at the end. Yeah, and this is it's not TypeScript, so I don't have TypeScript option here. Get attachments. This is the part what I find interesting, because he's not using a callback. He's just getting some information back. Get attachments, and that's used by this one here. The item, we already have the item. Well, what you can do is just copy this, I think. I think it's in the context already. So instead of doing this one, I would almost think that it's giving the same thing back as this one. Also, let's see, yes, also this doing it on the item there. Get attachments. That's this one. It's avoiding that. Using promise. Let's do that here. If item is null, trying to fetch attachments. This will go into get attachments. And then it will continue doing the same things that already did on my part. But in the meantime, this should do some logging for this one. Get attachments. That's the one down here. This one. So now we can remove this because that's inside the code. This has the promise in there. Let's see what's happening. We do that. Scale Outlook there. Stop this one. Clear cache. Now let's run this. See what the inspect shows us. Happy Friday. It's Happy Friday here. One minute past 12. Past midnight. Go in here. Let's have a look if that's showing us something. It's giving us error. Inspect that. Let's see what's the error about. Item has already been declared. Smarty pants. And delete, yes. Close that. Let's fix the item there. Ooh, thanks for the follow. Yasiraya. Welcome to the club. Where are you from? And what's your interest? I need to fix the item. There's a duplicate item somewhere. There's the item that's... We already have an item. Because that one's in here. Let's kill the cache again. It should go automatic, but sometimes we just can't trust that to happen. And then we're running old code. That's not what we want. We're starting Outlook again. Server component is triggered. Wait for that to load. Now go into an email item with attachments. Run the sample. Now we got some information. Let's see what's the inspect showing here. Let's blow it completely up there. Is there some information? There's an array. Prototype. Apparently this is the attachment. Filtered attachments are 0. Length is 0, so we don't get any attachment because this is filtering file attachments, I think. Is it? And then our own stuff is continuing here. Wasm type. So I guess that the number of attachments is processed in here is because there are no file items. It's filtering on file. And attachment is inline. That's also interesting. Let's see if we can. No, we can't break on this. Oh, this is. We should break on this in the inspector. No, not this one. This one. The question is, will it break if we do that in here? Like here, maybe? So this is interesting because what's going on in here? That's providing that back as a result. To see if we can break into this. It is stopping, I think. So the attachments, there are now 2. And is inline is false. That's interesting. I wonder what it looked like with the email item with the hidden picture in there. There's some attachment and there's another one. Where's the other one? Where's the information for that? That's a prototype. Oh, this one. This was the other one. And then can we see what the value is for that? Because that's done in here. Probably have to run it again. Guess it timed out. It's not timing out. Inspect. Go in here. Then we are already in a break there. Did it stop? No. Refresh. It's not breaking at that point. Here then. Now it's breaking there. Oh, but now it's having 0 attachments again. So what if I don't filter on these things? Let's first have a look what the attachment is in line is saying about the other attachments. Let's run this again. Go back here. Now go into the one with Viva there with the hidden attachment. Go into JavaScript there. There. it's not breaking. It's only doing this once. Stop this and let's run it again. Did not break in here, I think. Did it? F5. Now select the Viva item there. Wait for the server to arrive. Yeah, there it is. Do this. Inspect. Sources. There's the break. Refresh. Now that's breaking. Wow. There are lots of attachments in there. That's interesting. 18 items. There are 18 items. A picture. This is inline. Okay. And these ones are inline. So I do need to filter on inline apparently. Because I don't want to pick the inline items. I think these are all the pictures that are used in the web page of this email item. Oh. Go over all these things. Step out. Now it's still paused. Break here, length 18. Now we have, oh yeah, this was filtering inline items, so that's interesting. Then what is it? What's the next step? F10. There are no attachments, then it will return, but now it will do something. What will this return? It's returning this. I think it's returning this. Like attachments. But it doesn't have the value, I think. Let's see if the attachment. This will give a complete set of attachments back. This one. The question is, what is the value of this? How do I get the contents of this specific item? Oh. That's the ID, the size. Because this is definitely doing something different than this is what is returned. That's an Office something thing with a value. Oh, and it returns really? This is actually a value. Copy. Google. File from base 64 back to here. Now we take that out again. Codes. Decode to file. There it is. There's the picture. So that's really much easier. That should be easy. So instead of doing all these items, we should just do something like this. Get attachment, that will give the attachments back. Then attachment item 0, for instance, item 0 value is the has the content again. So for instance, if we get here, add attachments, there it is. And that's, try it again, item 0. Then we get the value. Then it will also give the format, so that's what it gives. So not showing anything. Format, that's not showing. Oh, it is base 64. Really? That should make it so much easier. Instead of doing all these things, where you go into it, you just can get the results back as attachments. And with that we get Yeah, let's try that. So how is that not documented? Close Outlook there. So instead of doing all these crappy things like this, there's no need at all for this because we just want to get the results back. Where are we? This is the item. Then it collects all these things. This should go into here if there are attachments. So now we get attachments there. We don't need to do this anymore. Because this will all be in the results. Well, we can do that based on this. So this one is these attachments should be different than these. Otherwise, there was never executed something. Now we do something like this. Copy. Returned attachments. See if we can go into that. So this attachment will have something like you need to look at that again. Where does it end? There. So we need to break on that part to see where the name of the attachment is stored. Type. So if we just do something like this and make that empty for now. Let's run this so that we can break on it and see what it's looking like. select the one with Viva because that has files and inline things in there. So now wait for this to happen, yeah. Yeah, this will probably go wrong, yes, true. Inspect. Now I have to go into sources, then break. Here to see how this should be picked up. Or maybe you should break on this one. Can we do that? That's no longer needed. F5. Continue. Continue. That will do that 18 times, so let's clear that. And it's not breaking, is it? Let's try that again. Refresh. Where is it there? Also, returned attachments is not defined. What? That's an error. Let's close this. Returned attachments. I renamed that, so that's not a good thing. Returned attachments. There. Oh, it's in scope of, outside scope of this thing. Let's bring that into the try part. Not tripod, but try part. Should be before the else. That's the for entry. To see how this is defined here. Try. Oh, that's not right. Is it? Miss something? Yes, we missed something. This is the for thingy. So that's not right. Should be one here. Now we have one too many over here. That's better. That's much better. Let's run this because now we should have where is the for loop there? Return attachments is now in scope. That's good. Let's get this Viva thing there. Wait for the server. The server is already up. Go in there. But let's read email data. Why not? Yeah, because we don't do anything with it. Inspect. let's break on some code there. What's going on here? Oh, it's outputting all the information there for each item. Interesting. Oh, it's kind of looping, I think, now. That's a bad thing. It's doing this all the time again. So let's stop that. Because it's not returning anything. So the first item, let's return something there. Just get over one item, return something there. The attachment ID, I think we do have the attachment ID already, is it? And it's also collected here. Let's return nothing here for now. We do have an item subject, I think. There's the item, so we can return the subject. So we are only going to process the first attachment if available, and otherwise there's nothing. That's true. Let's clear the cache there. Let's close Outlook first. Clear the cache. Challenging stuff, this wait for the server to come up. There's the server. Then go into the Viva item. Actually give me my digest mail, so that's a good sign. So now go into the inspector to see how we can get the ID, the attachment name, and the value for this. I think that should be fairly easy now. Sources. No. There. JavaScript. Then go in here. Break that. Refresh. And it's not breaking. Why is it not breaking? Now I can have a look here. There's a value item. each attachment is having a value there. And the content, that's the actual content of the attachment ID, of the attachment I should say. So if we're, let's see if that's refreshing. Yeah, now we have returned items. And that's an array. We only have things like we do have 10 there. Stepping in. It's not stepping in. Yeah, it is. Attachment. Now we have an attachment where you can get the base 64 value. So that's attachment value content. That's attachment value. Was it content? Value content. That's the base 64 part. And I don't think the other parts, like the attachment name. Let's see if that's the attachment name is in the prototype maybe. No. So what we should do is collect the attachments and then going over all the normal attachments and put the value of the attachment in there. Let's go back to the drawing board. So we collect all the attachments, but we also have a collection of attachments like item attachments. that will return the name. Pick the part up until the get content async stuff, because we already have that there. So let's uncomment all these items there. And then remove this part again. Now skip the part where we get the attachments, because we already got the attachments. Also this part. Now the question is, how do we get to match? Where's the 4 item thing? Here. How do we match this one with the attachment returned here? The returned attachments. The item. There's the attachment ID. This will give them all back. For each items. Basically what we do in here. So do we have the attachment ID also in there? I think we have something here already. Item there. This is function get attachments. ID. I need to find this somewhere in the results, if possible. Wow, it's already 12:46. There goes my sleep. Run this. See if we can get the console log to output some interesting stuff there. Wait for the server to kick in. Definitely want to keep this as a source information. Let's put that on my sticky note. Also put this on my sticky note, so I remember that next time. And also put the profile for this guy. Girl, I don't know. Sticky note. Oh, something happened with my sticky note. Chris X1. Fantasy League. So OpenVPN is all kinds of interesting things. It's not that crowded here, but the things that are in there are very interesting. So close this because it's now on my sticky note. So let's keep this one around for now. Let's also put this in my notes so I can find how to find Chris Mix 1. Close that. Now this is terrible demo. Now go back. Let's running the server now. Where's my Outlook then? There's my Outlook. Going to Viva. Open task pane. Let's see if we can get some results back. Inspect. We also already have some information there, but the base information is not found. Because that's the part that we are missing. There's the attachment ID. And is that also somewhere in here? Because that's the content. This is just the content, what we want to know. We need to match it with with the ID. So we should somehow see we can find this somewhere in there. Can we search for that? That's an endless thing, I think. Type name, empty. Type name is object. How do I get the ID in here? He's doing nothing with it in here, is he? That's the run thing. Then getting the attachments. These are all the attachments. It's doing nothing with it. That depends. Task pane. Yeah, that's the same thing. So how is he using that? There's a task pane. Welcome, please sideload your add-in. Discover what is. This is the basic stuff, but it's doing nothing with the attachments at all. So we are close, but we need to match the results of the thing in there with the actual items. The actual item. Or we just should get not all attachments, but only one. Get Get attachments. There's this. Yeah, that's the mail item, so it's multiple attachments. Getting all the attachments back here. These are the item attachments. That is going over all these things. Now, so this is a, wait, this is a mixed promise. Is it? So what if I only pick one at a time? I really have to think about this. It's already late. It's 1 p.m., 1 a.m. now. So, but we are getting closer. I think we have good results here by getting the values back. So that's what I'm happy with. Now I only need to find out how to match these with the real attachment IDs, like these items. Because I want the ID plus the value and do things with that. So definitely getting closer now. But not able to finish it today. So let's wrap this up for now. Because I really need to get some sleep here. Let's go to the main window there. So what did we do today? We got some more insights on the function that's called... Now I lost the name of the function. The function that's called get attachment content async from... I can quickly show my code window again. This one, how to use that and actually get the results back from this. And for the Office API has two options to use information. This one by promises, but there is also a new option not to use promises. So maybe I need to shift that to get other results back, including the attachment ID. But at least we get the values now all back, returned from Outlook. That's a good thing. And so the next time we will go and continue matching the items and putting them actually on the task pane. So thanks everyone for joining in today. It was a really learning event for me again, because the Office stuff is terrible stuff. Office JavaScript stuff, I should say. I will be back next week, Tuesday, continuing with the website, and Thursday again continuing with this part, and maybe do some things in between. But you never know. The regular schedule will be at least on Tuesday for the website and Thursday on the Office stuff. So thanks everyone for watching, and see you in next week, in the next month of the year. It will be August already. Thanks, and see you in August. Bye bye.